What is going on, guys? It is your boy Rushing back in with a video here today, and we are doing Road to Shotties. I think this is episode 6 or 7. And for the people that have watched the previous episodes, you would say to yourself, hey, why aren't you on the same account? And that's simple. It's because I need to put all the money I've got right now into an edit for my sniping team, and then some, so I need to, sell some. It's a pain in the ass, we'll say that. Anyway, so I figured this is the main account that I've been playing on for a little while. I usually play multiplayer on here. Every once in a while I'll play something else. But I don't regularly play zombies on here. And then I came on and I was like, hey, this is a knife rank. I could probably play a couple episodes and then I'll be done with it instead of doing another 15 on the other account. So I figured this would be a lot easier. So we're going to go forward with this one, and I won't have to buy the 2-day codes because this one has live the whole time. And we're going to do Buried. And oddly enough, I haven't played Buried in, I think, 5 months or something? Something pretty ridiculous, because I don't love the map a lot. I'm really not a huge fan of the map. I don't know. It just never clicked for me when it came out. Because I used to love it when there was, the Paralyzer was overpowered, when everything was really overpowered, and I used to straight love that. Sorry, I'm moving my phone away so you don't hear the buzzing. But I used to straight love this map when everything was overpowered, and then they nerfed everything to shit. And it's just annoying now. That's really all it is just annoying. And I can't get over the fact that I don't know, it's not the same as it used to be. So, I don't know. But like I said, we're going to play on this account, and it might be a little bit odd, but whatever. I'll be able to finish up this series, because I know, I didn't finish up the last one because this is not my Road to Shotties original series. Because I did one, I think, almost a year ago now, something like that, and I was on that account, and I'm not even sure why I stopped doing those episodes. I completely forget, but those did really well for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it was because I used the same thumbnail as the relaxing end, I don't know, but they did pretty well for what they were. And I think the minimum each of them has 1,000 views, which is insane. I mean, absolutely insane. And that was also probably because zombies had more hype back then, I want to say. But I have a couple things I want to talk about, and I'm going to have to pick up my phone to actually look, because if you are a YouTuber, you look at your phone a lot, just because, Twitter or YouTube, you're checking everything whatsoever. And, you also use your phone if, let's say you have a really good idea, and you don't want to forget it, you just put it in the notes on your phone. You'll come back to it later. You'll be like, oh, good shit, that's a video for the, the day, whatever. And I started doing that recently because I would go to, record a video or whatever, and I'd have a topic that I would think, oh yeah, I know this, I've got this in my head, I'll remember everything like that. And then I'll sit down and record, and I'll be like, shit, I can't remember it. And then it'll come back to me 3 hours later when I'm not even playing, and I'll be like, shit. It just kind of happens, and it always sucks when that happens. So I've started writing down notes for my videos, for ideas, and that's really been helping me, because I'll remember shit even in school, and I'll be like, oh yo, I remember that would be the best story ever, and then I'd forget it as soon as I get home, like I said. So obviously I'm gonna start writing stuff down and blah. Anyway, I got a couple of topics I want to talk about, and the first one being, I know this one isn't the most exciting, but loyalty. Because I was thinking about this a few days ago, and I don't know, I was just thinking about my friends and everything like that, and you ever notice with your friends, the best friends you'll ever have aren't the people that sit there and, when you fuck up, will go oh, it's okay, it's fine, or, whatever. They're the friends that will sit there and, you fall in the snow, and these motherfuckers are going to sit there and they're going to laugh at your ass, and then they're not even going to ask you if you're okay, they're just going to sit there and laugh at your ass, and you're going to laugh with them. Those are the best friends you'll ever have. is the ones that don't take you too seriously, but they know you well enough so that they don't have to take you seriously. Like, it's not the... You don't want friends that will sit there and they'll hold your hand and they'll be like, oh, it's okay, everything's okay. Like I said, I'll use a snow analogy. You fall in the snow, you don't want that friend that'll go like, yo, are you alright? Do you have any cuts? Do you have anything? Whatever. You want that friend that's going to be sitting there dying his ass off. And, you know, like, once you get up and you start slipping again, he's already got his phone out and recording that shit. Twitter or Instagram. Or Snapchat, whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. But you want those kinds of friends because they're also the friends that will tell you when you do dumb shit. Like, they're the ones that will tell you when you fucked up and when you need to fix something. They're not the ones that'll be like, oh, you messed up. Oh, it's okay. You know, they're not holding your hand like I keep saying. They're the ones that'll tell you straight to your face like, yo, you done fucked up. Or you're a little bitch. You know, you're being an asshole right now. Whatever it is. They will tell you to your face. And I notice that a lot of my friends are like that. And that's because I think it's more so I'm real with people, so people are real back to me. And that's really, really important with your friends. And that it grows more true as you get older, that you want friends that are more of your friends instead of people that will sit there and kiss your ass for whatever reason. And it's hard to explain the topic, but I think you guys know what I mean. You want the true friends, and you don't want those, you know, ones from high school that, you know, were like, you know, you were just kind of chill with in class or whatever. You want those friends that you could sit there and you could tell them anything, and they'll give you a opinionated, asshole, douchey response that you would actually expect from them. Not the one where, like I said, it's not like, you don't want a friend that's kind of like a boss where they'll tell you, oh yeah, you know, you messed up, but it's okay. Or they're not like your mom. We'll go with that. They're not like your mom, where they'll hold your hand, they'll say everything's gonna be okay, and then they'll pat you on the head. You want the motherfuckers that are the straight squad. You want the squad. And I think that's what I have, because what was it? It was 2 days ago. I was walking home, and I get early release, so not a lot of people get out the same time I do. But a couple people do, and one of my friends gets out the same time I do, but usually he just kind of runs home because he has to work, or he wants to go see his girlfriend, whatever it is. And I can't blame him for that. And me and him just kind of ended up walking home because we saw each other coming out of school, and it's like, oh, yo, what's good, fam? And me and him were talking about, like, you know, all kinds of shit, and we were giving each other the most real responses ever. And I sat there and I thought to myself, like, damn, that's the true fam right there. And if any of you don't know what fam means, it's like, you know, you're the homie, you're the home slice, the diggity dog. I don't fucking know what the kids say anymore. I'm 17 and I don't know what people say anymore. That's really sad. But I don't know. It's you. The more that you think about it, the more that you will realize that your best friends in the world are the ones that are the biggest douches to you and the least that care, you know, about, like, you know, if you got some dumb shit going on in your life, they're not gonna, you know, like, sit there and try to give you a hug and, you know, be like your mom. They're the ones that are gonna be like, you know, you're having girls, yo, just find a new hoe and, you know, fuck up some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But, and I know it's kind of repetitive, but they will be the most real responses ever. And I've had a lot of fake friends in my life, and I think that's why I can spot real people now, is because I know what fake looks like. And it's kind of hard to swallow for me, because I had a friend that from, I believe it was probably kindergarten, up until we were up through 5th grade. Me and him were, at least back then, we were best friends, and I used to go over to his house, like, 2-3 times a week. You know, we always chilled, we played video games, we watched anime, whatever. And, you know, the more that I'm looking back on it, the more that I realized that he probably didn't like me, and it was his grandma that was pushing him to hang out with me. Because obviously when you take a step back, you see things from a really different perspective. And the more that I've been thinking about it, and the reason that I say after 5th grade was because after 5th grade he moved to Florida. And I've been thinking about it recently because for the first couple years he came up to see his relatives, everything like that. And me and him, we would chill, you know, once or twice, whatever. And the more that I think about it and the more that I see him after, you know, we stopped being friends on a consistent basis, was I saw that he wasn't a real friend, and I saw that his grandparents were kind of pushing him to be my friend. And like I said, at the time you don't see it, but later on down the road you will see it. And one of the things I always tell people is, yo, that person's fake as shit. Even if I don't know you very well, I will tell you to your face the things that you need to hear. I don't care if you get pissed at me. I don't care if you don't like me after that. I will tell you the things that you need to hear. That's just the way that I've always been. And I get, like, there's some people that don't like me even from my school because of that. Because, like I said, I tell people the way it is, and I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for you. And that's just my personality. And especially girls get really, really pissed off of that, I want to say, because, you know, they don't want guys to tell them the way shit is. Like, I'm not gonna, you know, straight up go to a girl and, like, go, like, oh, you're ugly as shit, you know, like, go die in a hole. I'm not gonna do that just because I have some general respect. But I'm not gonna sit there and, you know, like, take shit from a girl and, you know, not tell her anything. Like, you know, I sat there and I saw some chick, you know, crying, and I went over to her. I was like, yo, what's up? And she's like, oh yeah, my boyfriend's an asshole, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I knew the kid, and I knew he was an asshole, and I'm like, then why the fuck are you with him? He's just a general asshole. And she's like, I don't know why. I'm like, yo, really? You just need to, like, sit here and think to yourself, like, why the fuck am I wasting my time on an asshole like that? And it's very, very true. She got pissed at me because I called him an asshole, but at the they're making her cry, and it wasn't the first time I've seen her do that because of him. And to me, if you're a guy and you're constantly making a girl, or at least consistently making a girl cry, then you're doing something wrong here and you're an asshole. So she got mad at me for that, and literally I think it was like 2 weeks later or some shit like that, she took my advice and she broke up with him. Still thinks I'm an asshole today because I told her what she needed to hear, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm just real enough with people that I can tell them what the fuck's up. And that's the same thing with pretty much anybody. And there is a line that you kind of have to walk when you do that sort of thing, because you don't want to tell people too much or stuff that will damage people as far as, like, their reputation goes. But you want to be, like I said, real enough with them that you can tell them pretty much anything. And the reason I say pretty much anything is because, let's say, I don't know, like, if my best friend was getting cheated on, I would tell him, honestly. But if, it's hard to explain in this situation, but if someone was, like, you know, at a party, and I don't know, they slept with someone, or I don't fucking know, just some weird situation that, you know, they shouldn't have been in, I'm not going to tell the other person that they fucked up once, but if it happens consistently, like I keep saying, I will tell people. But just generally, I'm a very honest person, like, and if you meet me, I will tell you shit. You know, that's just the way that I am. And I'm a pretty, I want to say I'm a pretty nice person, because people tell me that, oh yeah, you know, you're a decent guy, whatever. And, but that's the other thing, like, nice guys usually finish last, and that remains very, very true. And you people that aren't, like, you know, in high school yet, or you're just starting high school, it's so true, it's unbelievable. It really is. Anyway, like, you know, that kind of leads me into, I was sitting here, and right before I was actually about to do this video, I was about to, you know, get on, record the video, then I was gonna, you know, obviously, like, upload everything like that, then go snipe for a little while, see if I could go hit a clip or whatever. And I saw a guy in the Immortals team chat who I recruited as like a leader maybe 2 weeks ago when we really started. And I have not seen him do anything for the team, at least, in like, God knows how long. Like, you know, he hasn't done anything since I recruited him. And I saw him in team chat, you know, real quick. Just, he said one thing, and I was like, yo, PM me real quick. And he's like, alright. And he PM'd me on Skype, and I'm like, yo, like, why haven't you been doing anything? And he's like, oh, I didn't even know this was a team. I'm like, wait, how the fuck did you not know this was a team? Like, I didn't tell him that. I was like, I was like, why? We only just started the team like 2 weeks ago. And he's like, yo, this team's dead as shit, or your team's shit, nigga, or like, you know, he said some shit. He was like trying to trash the team that he's still a leader of at that point. And I'm like, dude, it's been 2 weeks. I don't know why you're bitching so much. And he's like, you know, he starts like laughing. Yo, I started teams in 2 weeks, and we got, you know, we got a video out, and we had like 50 people with designers, players, editors. I'm like, okay, I don't care. And the other thing is, why are you in my team if you have done all these things that make you really great in this community? Why are you here? That's my question. And like, he started going like, you know, oh, I can get into any team I want. He started trying to flex on me. And this was the funniest thing ever to me. He started trying to flex on me with a 120-something sub channel. And that's not offense to anybody who's a smaller channel. But, you know, I guess he thought that I don't do YouTube, or that I don't have any subscribers. And I was like, oh, you're trying to flex? And I linked him my channel. And, you know, because he linked his and then I linked mine. And he's like, nah, that's stolen. Or, you know, like, or it's botted or some shit. And I'm like, no, it's none of those. It's my channel. I play zombies, dude. And he's like, hi, your shit, you only get like 100 views a video. I'm like, because, you know, like, I've actually put in the time to, you know, put out videos consistently, and I'm not going to sit there and, you know, like, wait 3 weeks until a video gets, you know, a certain number of views or a certain number of likes until I put out a new one. Not going to do that. I just put out videos because people are entertained by them, whatever. And if it's, you know, only a certain number of people, I don't care. And he's like, you know, oh, you're so shit, everything like that. I'm like, dude, literally, you have 120 subscribers. You said you've been in Obey, Soar, all these other teams, but why the fuck are you here, and why do you only have like 120 subs? And, you know, and then I go and I look at his Twitter, because I haven't looked at it in a little while, and he gets like nothing, and I mean no favorites, no retweets, no anything. He's not followed by anybody big. And I'm like, dude, you're sitting here trying to flex on me, saying that you're like the best dude in the world, and then, you know, you're gonna like, you know, come at me with your shit. And he's like, oh, you know, like, at least I'm not some 12-year-old sitting in my basement. I'm like, first of all, I'm 17, and second of all, I'm in my room, so go kill yourself. And then, sorry if you can hear that outside. That's my sister's getting dropped off, because long story anyway. But he started trying to flex on me, and I'm sitting there going like, you know, yo, you really need to like fucking chill out. You're like mad as shit because I'm more successful than you, and you thought that you were more successful than me, so you're getting mad as shit. And he's like, oh, you're just, you know, some fucking nerd in his mom's basement. I'm like, that's literally the response everybody has ever come up with. You are very creative, sir. You really are. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my dick sucked real quick. And he like sent me a picture of his girlfriend. And I'm like, okay, I don't care. You have a girlfriend. What the fuck does that prove? Like, legitimately, what does that prove? Like, that, I don't know, that's always been the question to me. And, like, he'll probably watch this video, and he'll be like, oh, he's mad as shit. Not really, it's just, like, I don't understand your logic here. I'll be honest. I really don't. It's like, you're gonna sit here and attempt to flex on me, at least have some shit to back it up. Like, when I thought when you linked your channel, you were gonna 4K, you know, something like that, you were gonna have something. But like, bruh, you like send me a 120 sub channel with 2 videos and they have like 200 views a piece, and you know they have like 60, you know, likes on it. It's like, dude, that's not my fault that you like DM'd everybody on the planet to go like your video. It's not my problem. I mean, like, seriously, you know? I don't know. Anyway, hold up. I will actually grab my phone real quick. If my sister comes into my room, I will cut it real quick. Just because, you know, I'm real weird about that. And I know you guys are gonna be like, oh, why do you care so much? You know, just keep going along with it. It's a little bit odd. Okay. Alright, so the one of the topics I have to talk about is I went to Catholic school for a little while. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten until I was, we'll go with the end of 5th grade. Yeah, it was the end of 5th grade. And I, obviously, after that, you know, I went to CCD. Because I went to public school and my mom was like, oh, you need to, you know, do something. I'm like, whatever, I'll go to CCD. I went with my sister because she started really late. So I was in the same class as her. And it was just at the local church, whatever. And we had, it's basically like volunteer teachers. And they just kind of do it. They don't really get paid, anything like that. And I think this was in 7th grade. It was like the first couple of classes, I think our teacher quit. I don't know, maybe because, I forget the reason, but she had a pretty good reason. And so our teacher quit, and we got a new one. He was kind of a backup. It was one of the other teacher's sons, I think. And we got into class one day, and we didn't actually have a classroom. Like, we did not have a room that we actually met in. We met in this cafeteria thing. Because the way that our church was kind of set up, we had like it was an old school, and there was a lunchroom, and that's kind of where everybody would sit down, and then people would break up into their classrooms. But we didn't have a classroom because there were so many grades. And we were like, okay, we're fine with that, whatever. And so we get this new teacher, and we're all sitting there, just kind of talking, whatever. He comes in, seems like a pretty nice guy, and we go through, I think, a couple of classes. It wasn't that bad. But he didn't like this one kid, and the kid was an asshole, I'll say that, but this dude went a little bit too far, because what happened was, this kid, I guess, pissed him off to the point where this dude took a Bible, like the teacher, he took a Bible and he hit him in the back of the head with it, and, you know, we were all just like, wait, what the fuck? Wait, teachers can do that? And obviously he can't, but we didn't know at the time that he, you know, couldn't do that. So we were like, alright, whatever. And he didn't just do it to him, he did it to a bunch of us after that. He even hit me a couple times for whatever reason. He just kind of did it like, you know, he would get it wrong and he would hit you. Not like, you know, he wouldn't swing the thing full force, but he would hit you. And you're sitting there going like, I'm coming to CCD to learn something. Okay, sorry about that. My sister walked into my room, and like I said, I'm real weird about that, and I'll probably get used to it at some point, but I'm just not used to it yet. Anyway, so I think where I left off was, so obviously, you know, he can't do that. And he would hit us, but like I said, you know, he wouldn't hit us very hard. And one day I told my mom that he did it, and she was like, wait, what? She, you know, she kind of flipped out. My mom doesn't flip out about it very much. She's usually a pretty calm person. But she flipped shit about this because she's a teacher, and obviously, you know, teachers shouldn't be hitting kids. That's just kind of fucked up. And we complained to, you know, the lady that runs this program, and he got fired like the next day. And I think they said that they were gonna file charges against him. I forget. But all I know is that he was fired. I'm pretty sure charges were never brought against him. But the thing was, he wasn't like an old guy. He wasn't, you know, an angry lady. It wasn't, you know, like 30-something-year-old guy, you know, hitting kids with fucking Bibles just because, you know, we were talking. It's like, seriously, yo, like, you need to chill out with that. And then, one of the other things I wanted to talk about, that was kind of the end of that story. It was a really quick one, because there wasn't much to it, I want to say. Because it was literally just like, you know, he hit us a couple times, you know, like, got fired, whatever. I wish there was more to it. And so basically, sorry, I left my phone there. But one of the other things was, one of my friends is, he's a real weird kid, but I love him, you know. He's one of those kids that, you know, you've known for a million years and you love the kid. And it's one of those friends that you just, you've known forever, but you're not too tight with. But obviously, like, you know, you're pretty good homies. And I used to walk home with him in middle school, and we used to sit there and we would watch like old school Ego Raptor. We would watch all this kinds of stuff because I wasn't caught up on internet stuff at the time like I am now. You know, you tell me a joke on the internet and I will most likely know it, and that wasn't the case back in the day. And so he was teaching me all this stuff, everything like that. We watched a lot of Ego Raptor. We watched some Angry Video Game Nerd, which, by the way, is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. He is straight, like, I don't know, he's just the best. Anyway, so we watched a lot of him. And, you know, both of them, actually. We watched almost all the videos. We would watch, like, one every day when we were coming home. Maybe two if we had enough time. And this dude was, you know, like I said, this dude's a pretty weird kid, but I love him. And, you know, so basically, one day, you know, I was going to look up something, and, you know, I was like, yo, give me your phone real quick, you know, I'll look up something. And he's like, what? And I'm just like, give me your phone real quick, because I wanted to surprise him. And he was like, you know, no, I don't want to give you my phone. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I have this, you know, thing on my phone. I call it the what the fuck folder. And I'm like, wait, what the hell are you talking about? And he's like, I call it the what the fuck folder because it's full of just the weirdest, you know, most fucked up porn you'll ever see in this world. Like, you know, it's like, you know, anime chicks with dicks, you know, all this other kinds of shit. And I'm like, wait, then why the fuck do you have it? And he's like, I have it because it's the ultimate protection from my phone getting stolen. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? And he's like, okay, imagine you steal someone's phone, and you get into their phone, and you're looking around at everything, and then all of a sudden you see, like, you know, chicks with dicks. You're, like, not gonna fuck with that phone anymore. I'm like, yeah, that's actually pretty true, not gonna lie. And so basically, you know, that he has this what the fuck folder. And I kept asking about it for a while, and, you know, a bunch of my friends know about it now. I don't think he has it anymore, but he used to have it, like I said. And, you know, so a couple of my friends asked about it, and we never actually saw anything that was in the folder, just because he kind of kept it secret, but we knew it existed. Like, we knew that everything in that kind of kid. And eventually, I guess I, like, you know, nudged him enough that he actually showed me what was in it, and I don't think I'm the same person afterwards. I think my life was, permanently changed when I saw, like, you know, I'm not even gonna say, but I know a couple of people from school are gonna watch it. It's called it's an anime series called, Boku. We'll just say the first part of it, Boku. Yeah, Boku. And, you know, if anybody watches this from school, probably Matt. I think you might know what the series is, maybe Sebastian, but that's some kind of fucked up stuff. I mean, obviously I've seen a lot worse now, but being in, like, 7th or 8th grade and just seeing, like, you know, chicks with dicks, you know, with, like, cum all over the room, you're just sitting there going, like, why the hell am I looking at this crap? Why the hell does this exist in the first place? Like, really? Come on. So, generally pretty weird, but that's not the weirdest thing that, you know, I've ever seen. It's not even close anymore. I mean, I've seen some pretty strange stuff. And, what was it, like, and I know I'm gonna regret this decision because someone's gonna tweet it at me, but, like, if any of you are on Twitter and you see, like, yeah, every once in a while, like, it'll be that thing that goes around that's, like, really, really extremely disgusting, but, like, you know, everyone just retweets it for some reason just to kind of fuck up your timeline. And it was, like, this weird thing where it was, like, you know, bugs were, like, growing out of this lady's hand or some shit. I don't even fucking know. And, it was really, really fucking nasty. And I'm just blocking people that tweeted at now, like, that any sort of tweet now. Anything that I see that's absolutely nasty, I'm just blocking you. I don't care who you are. I don't care if your name is actually Jesus. I don't care. because I don't want to go on Twitter, and this could just be me. I don't want to go on Twitter and see some weird shit that'll make me want to fucking throw up, okay? Because, like, it's not like I have a weak stomach or anything. It's just the fact that, like, I don't want to fucking see, like, spiders growing out of some chick's hand or, like, I don't know, just some weird shit. Or, like, that weird video where it's, like, you know, the ingrown hair shit. Where, like, the guy, you know, like, was gonna pull the hair out of his, you know, chin or whatever. I never actually watched it, so I don't know what it's like, but I'm gonna assume it was, like, you know, just a bunch of shit just came out. And it's, like, nasty as shit. But I've never seen the video because I just don't want to watch it, like, personally. Because I think that stuff is fucking disgusting. And real quick, we're actually just going to, like, start up a party. What? Hey, you have a lot of talent. While Charm Gaming is currently recruiting talented... I don't care. Like, I love getting those messages because usually they aren't that long, but I get those every once in a while. Anyway, alright. I'm just gonna, like, you know, keep the party open just to see if, like, you know, we rank up at any point. Because I know that I'm fairly close to ranking up on this account, but I don't know how close I am. Like, I know that it could happen at any point, but it could be, like, 10 games, it could be, like, you know, the next game or this game. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, I always do that. And if you watch the old videos, I do it in that too. And, actually, this is my third time doing Road to Shotties, now that I just thought about it. Something just popped in my head where I used to be a Twitch streamer for a while. And this was when I wasn't very active on YouTube, but I was a Twitch streamer for a while. And this was what, you know, like, when I had my laptop, I had all this other kinds of crappy stuff. Like, you know, for me, at least. And I didn't have good internet, so, like, I could barely stream, like, you know, 480 quality. It was really, you know, it was 480 quality, but it wasn't, like, you know, HD. So, I'd sit there and I'd stream, and I would have, like, you know, 10, 15 people in my stream, but I'd be sitting there talking. I had no overlay. I had, you know, the quality was crappy on it. I was a really bad commentator, in my opinion. And just everything was, like, so cringy about it. It was unbelievable. But I had, like, you know, a consistent group of people that always watched my streams. And I think it was one night I actually ended up having, like, 60-something people in my stream. And it was absolutely crazy. Because I gained, like, 100 followers that night. Like, 100 and something. And to this day, I only have, like, 400 followers. So that was, you know, pretty crazy. And, you know, like, I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, damn, I'm very shit at what I do, but people still like my shit. And, you know, just the more and more that I think about it, the more and more that I cringe. I sit there and I go, like, how the fuck did people watch me? Because, and I'm probably going to look back, like, you know, on my YouTube videos in a year or so when I have better stuff and my videos are just generally better. And I'm going to sit there, I'm going to cringe, and I'm going to be like, how the fuck did people watch me back then, you know? So, I don't know, it's one of those things where, and I know that I see a lot of bigger channels, you know, looking back on old videos, like, you know, KSI reacts to old videos, Nadeshot reacts to old videos, PewDiePie reacts to old videos, you know, all these other people. And then, I sit there and I go, like, your videos were never bad for their time. Because, like, I see all the time, like, you know, like I said, these YouTubers that they'll go back and they'll react to their old videos, and I sit there and I go, like, if they started now, they would get nowhere. But the fact is, PewDiePie started out, like, what, 4 or 5 years ago when the standard on YouTube was really, really low? Because there wasn't very many high-quality videos, and he goes, like, oh, these videos are so low quality, they're everything like that. But that's because people hadn't refined the art of commentating on gaming videos the way that he did, and he was going into new territory. Nobody had perfected the art of the Let's Play. Nobody had done all these things, and just generally the quality wasn't as good back then. And they sit there and they cringe at this shit. But if you go back to like 2010. Remember, there wasn't even like fucking HD on YouTube until like 2011 or something like that, I remember. So I mean, or generally most videos weren't HD until like 2012. And I sit there and I go like, these videos were fucking good for their time. But I guess just because of the way that standards are now, they're pretty bad. And generally my videos aren't quote-unquote up to standard because I don't run like a face cam. I don't have like a $400 mic. I don't, have like constant overlays on the screen. I don't have all these other things that every other successful Call of Duty YouTuber has. I don't do that. I want to get a face cam so I can do face cam obviously for videos and if I stream. But I don't think that it should be necessary to be successful. But still, like, at the time, like 4 years ago, Nadeshot was running face cam, and I was like, back then, people were probably like, damn, that is high quality as fuck. Nobody does that. Because nobody did. Nobody ran face cams on stream like 4 years ago. I mean, most people didn't generally stream 4 years ago. So these guys were front runners, I want to say, in their craft. And the general fact of it is, if we didn't have the guys like Nadeshot, PewDiePie, KSI, Markiplier that were around in the like really low quality age of YouTube and upgraded and taught us how to do things, most of us wouldn't exist, I'll be honest. Like most YouTubers, they just wouldn't generally be making videos. Because, not just because of an inspiration thing, but because it wouldn't have caught on. Because once everybody started, uploading 720 videos, it wasn't special anymore. So all these guys that kind of innovated things, especially in Call of Duty, kind of had to raise the standards even more, and they figured out things that set them apart. And now that, it's just basic things to us, but back then we're like, holy shit, he has that, jeez. And generally most people that play competitive now have scuffs, but you go back to like even I think 2012, most people didn't have scuffs. It was just basic controllers. And what most people don't know, fun fact for you, is if you watch any sort of COD esports or anything like that, and you are a longtime fan, you would know that most of MW3, and maybe all of MW3, but Black Ops 1 Nationals was actually played on PS3, which is really, like weird, because most people would assume that, it's always been Xbox, but no, PlayStation also was kind of in the mix there, and for a lot of events, it was either PS3 or Xbox, so all the pros played on both, which is really, really strange. Because obviously it's just one console now, they have to decide, there's no in between. But back then, MW3 and Black Ops 1 were on both consoles. I think Black Ops 1 was primarily on PlayStation, and then MW3 was mostly, and I want to say mostly, Xbox, but there was definitely PSN LANs. And honestly, most people wouldn't expect that. I didn't expect it either. I just found it out a little while ago. Because they had, I think it was both at Nationals for Black Ops 1. I'm not too sure. But I think that, it was like, it might have been a popular vote. I forget. Or there was both there. I don't even remember. But, yeah, it's just kind of weird that standards have been raised so much and so many things have changed in Call of Duty. And just generally the whole style of videos kind of changed too, because as a whole, we're not going on to videos on Call of Duty to see just a general commentary anymore, unless you're like a FaZe member or you're Optic Nadeshot or any of these old school guys that have a lot of subs. But for someone that's just starting out, it kind of, you're not encouraged to do just regular commentaries anymore and just talk about general things, because it's not what's getting views. Sorry, I didn't English there. It's not what's getting views anymore, because I think people are kind of tired of them, but that's what I do. But I do them in a different way than anybody else really does, because who can you say and name in the zombies community that now just sits here and commentates about random shit while they sit here and they play zombies? Who the fuck else can you name? And you could say, oh, you know, all the custom map guys. Not really. All the custom map people, all they do is fucking talk about the map and then just kind of bullshit for like 2 minutes in between when they have nothing to say about the map. That's really all it is. But for me, it's just basically pure commentary and the gameplay is just in the background. And a lot of people say you should have a lot more subs than you do, and I kind of agree. Because I stand out from the crowd. I really do, but I think the thing that's holding me back is, I mentioned this earlier, like I don't have a face cam and I don't have overlays in my videos. And I think the other thing is thumbnails too. Like I'm not really huge on thumbnails because I can't do them. And obviously you have to pay people to do them for you, and I'm not rich here. Like, let's be realistic here. I'm trying to sell like Black Ops 3 related gamer tags, because I still have those, by the way, if anybody has ever seen that video. I privated it because like people didn't understand the joke. And by the way, that whole video was a joke. I was never serious about it whatsoever. Like, I'm not gonna try to sell stupid fucking gamer tags for that much, okay? But those gamer tags are worth something, you know? They're worth like, I don't know, $5-10, whatever. You know, so I mean, like, they're worth something, but they're not worth, like, what I said. And, like, people didn't get it, so they're like, you're just trying to cover your tracks by, you know, calling it a parody, or, you know, whatever the fuck you wanted to call it. And I'm like, it's called sarcasm. Okay? I don't know. People, like, you know, they don't know what they're talking about anymore, so, whatever. Anyway, but I'm not rich here, so thumbnails are not a thing that I really focus on. And you could sit here and you could say, oh, you have thumbnails for the Road to Shotties series, because it's pretty much the same thumbnail, just in a different color. And I actually had Adam do them for me, like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, something like that. I had him do them for me, and he would just, you know, he sent me like 6 or 7 of them, and, you know, they were just basically like different colors. That's all it was. And that was just because, you know, like, I asked him if he could do one, and he was like, why don't I just do a bunch of them? Okay, whatever, sure. So, I don't know. Anyway, but, what was the other thing I was thinking of? Shit. Oh, this other one reminds me of Adam, because actually Adam, and this was out of nowhere, really. And I guess it's because YouTube has been, like, you know, down for most zombies YouTubers, and just YouTubers in general for a little while. But that's just because of the time of the year, and Adam decided he would take it one step further than just, you know, complaining about it or trying to fix it. And he decided, hey, I'm gonna quit this channel, you know, like his iPro Zombies channel, and I'm gonna move over to another one when I feel like it. I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait, you didn't even tell us in chat? Because even though Zombies Nation does not exist anymore, we're all still in a chat because, you know, we're just like the fam. So, you know, like, and we're semi-active in the chat, you know, like most of us talk pretty much every day. And he didn't tell us in chat, and we're like, wait, what the fuck? And I disliked the video just because I didn't want him to quit. And he got so much positive support on that video to, like, you know, come back. Because people didn't want to see him leave, obviously. Because, you know, there's a difference, and I explained this to him. I get it that, you know, the numbers are down, and that's kind of discouraging, but you kind of have to fight through it, you know? And the way that I explained it to him was, people might not be commenting on your video, but that doesn't mean that they're not watching, nor do they not care, necessarily, because I know a lot of people that watch my videos that don't comment, you know what I'm saying? Or they might not leave a like because, I don't know, you're going out somewhere and you just forget to hit like and you were watching the video and whatever. Or you fell asleep and you were watching the video, or you were just playing and you watched the video and then you went on to another video. I don't mind that, whatever. It's fine, you know, just view whatever. If you like, whatever. Obviously likes are good, and, you know, I want them, but I'm not going to sit here and, you know, like, end my channel because I'm not getting them. So, it's really, like, you do have to walk a fine line as a YouTuber, where you have to say to yourself, okay, either my channel's dead, or it's just a bad couple months, whatever. And I think that people don't know how to judge that anymore because, you know, I've never really thought about quitting YouTube, like, you know, from this channel at least. You know, until maybe a month ago when, you know, shit started going bad. But then I was like, wait, why would I throw away all my hard work that I put into this channel and throw away my dream, essentially, to do this, you know, for a living and to entertain people for a living just because I'm having a bad couple months? Why don't I attempt to fix it before I, you know, make any bad decisions? And it was probably the best decision of my life because the general fact is, I get it. I'm not doing the same type of videos that I used to. I'm not just doing zombies anymore. I'm not doing all this other kinds of stuff. I'm not doing what, you know, like people have known me to do in the past. But that's because at some point I get tired of it, and I think you guys get tired of it. And while it might be getting views at the time, I don't want to oversaturate it, you know? And obviously, I do YouTube right now because it's fun to me. I don't want to have to think of it as a job. And I don't, because I'm getting on and I'm making videos that I want to make. Especially the Road to Shotties series. I love making these videos, but it is hard to think of shit. But when I do think of stuff, it helps me as a person to just kind of vent everything and just talk about what I want to talk to, or talk about. And it just makes me feel better, and I know that people like the series. So it works every way around. But the other thing is, it's hard to find topics to talk about, and it's hard to find the time sometimes, because I'll get on and I'll maybe, you know, make a video for like half an hour, and then I'm not really on the rest of the day because I have a ton of other stuff to do. And these videos, at least, you know, they're usually at least a little over an hour. Like, we'll go with that. They're at least a little over an hour. And like I said, it is hard to find the time every once in a while. But I love making these videos. I really do. Because I get a lot of positive feedback on them. And it, you know, they're fun for me, and I guess they're fun for you guys because you like the videos. And I want to say the Road to Shotties is like my most successful series, so to say, because it's always a series that gets some views, gets some likes, whatever. And the other thing is, I love, personally, the modded lobby videos, because I know that some of you guys are like, oh, why does you just keep posting modded lobbies? And it's not because they get a lot of views, and it's not, sorry, like people are talking outside, my dad's just a generally loud person. Anyway, but you know, it's not just because, oh, they get views or trying to, you know, have a video blow up. It's not because of that. It's because they're really, really cool, you know? And that might just be personal opinion, but they're pretty fucking cool. And I get into these extremely, extremely cool modded lobbies. Like, there's modded lobbies where it's just like, you know, oh, it's God mode, you know, there's aimbot, whatever. So really, really basic stuff. But I get into these lobbies where there's some weird, weird stuff going on. I'm not sure what's up with the frame right now. Like that frame lag, though, in the game. And, but it's because they're genuinely, like, really, really cool. And, you know, like I said, like the video yesterday, it was a modded lobby. And I just thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I've never seen a modded lobby like that on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you guys haven't either. And that was just generally so much fun, and I had cool reactions from the people that were in the game, everything like that. So I thought it was really, really fun. And I wanted to post that for you guys just to, you know, kind of share the experience. So, I don't know. That's just kind of what I do. And if one just happens to blow up, whatever. Because, and the reason I mention it is because I was looking back on a couple old videos, and one of my most popular videos ever was, it was a video of a zombies modded lobby, like, you know, the infected lobby or whatever it's called now. It's something, but it like blew up on YouTube, and I was like the first person to actually see it. Like, you know, I was one of the first people to generally post it, and I find that pretty cool that I was like one of the first to ever do that. And because it's like huge now. A lot of people have done it on big channels, and obviously I'm not getting any credit because I didn't make it or whatever, and just because so many other people have done it, it's kind of, shrouded over, we'll say that. Like, it's not, I'm not getting the respect I deserve out of it because so many other people have done it that it's hard to find who did it first. But when I saw it, it was like the, most cool thing I've ever seen. And nobody else had it. I looked, nobody else had it. And that's really, really cool to me. And the video has like, almost 4,500 views or something, which is pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie, that's insane for a channel my size. And, I thought at the time it was just something cool I would share with you guys, but it blew up. It's like, okay, why not? And I think that people mistake, attempting to make a very popular video and videos that people just generally think are cool. Like, I post things because I think they're cool, and I'm going to keep saying that. I think that they're cool. And hopefully you guys do too. And then there's the people that, like, they have the clickbait-ass titles where it's like, Black Ops 2, or like, we'll go with Advanced Warfare just because Advanced Warfare is the worst with it. Advanced Warfare, 100x Advanced Supply Drop opening, MP4 or legendary MP40, and all these other guns that like they probably didn't even get, but they could get. They just put it in the title, and then they put like Advanced Warfare Supply Drop opening, like the clickbait titles, and then I can guarantee you they don't care about what they get in the fucking supply drops anymore. But they have like these thumbnails of like them freaking the fuck out. It's they're always fun, to like just look at the thumbnails, but I never watch them just because they're fucking stupid. And I can guarantee you those guys aren't having fun making those videos. They're having fun seeing the feedback on the video that it's positive, because and be like, oh, it's crazy, whatever, and they'll get likes and they'll get some views. They like the feedback, but they don't like the video. And I think that's important for YouTubers to differentiate, because if you're not having fun making a video, don't fucking make it. That's just my opinion. But if I'm not having fun recording a video, I'm not going to record it, and I'm not going to post it, because I'm not having fun. Like right now, I'm having a lot of fun because it's entertaining to me to talk about this stuff. And I love seeing the feedback, personally. I sit there and I look at my YouTube channel way more than I should. And if I can like reload a page and I've got a couple new views on a video, that's really, really cool. Comments are always the most fun thing to see, because either I get a laugh out of them because somebody's being, like a retard in the comments and, saying something stupid. Or, like it's just generally a really nice comment and someone's like, yo, dude, I really, really always enjoy the videos, everything like that. That always makes me feel good. So, obviously, that's like the best part about posting a video is the feedback. But at the same time, you have to enjoy making the video, to me. And a lot of people that do YouTube as a whole will tell you that. And they have always told people that. Like, don't post if you're not having fun. Don't do YouTube and force it. Because people can tell when you're forcing a video. And that's just, it doesn't work out. It just doesn't feel right as a whole. It doesn't mesh the way that it should, I want to say. Mesh is probably a good word. And it doesn't have the same feel as if, you're having a shit ton of fun. And I noticed that, and if you look back at, let me think, we'll go with Vanoss, and nothing against him, he's like, glad he had a lot of success, everything like that. But Vanoss, you could tell near the end of Black Ops 2, and for a little while, in Ghost, he was not having fun doing YouTube, because he wasn't having fun playing the game, but he knew he had to post videos, and he was kind of forcing it. And that's when I noticed his channel was kind of like going down a little bit, was the very end of BO2, and in Ghost, until he figured out, like, he did GTA 5, and that's when his channel blew up, after he did GTA 5. He blew up in BO2, and he blew up because of GTA 5. And when he blew up, that's when you could tell he was having the most fun. Not because he was blowing up, because he was having fun doing what he does. And obviously the feedback helps, when you have more fun when the feedback is good. But people could just kind of tell, whether you're, you know, forcing it or you're having fun. And that's what I like to do. I like to post when I'm in a decent mood. Like, I'll post when I'm not in a good mood, I'll admit that. But I'll have fun making the video, and that'll make, you know, my mood better. So, but the other thing is, like, you know, I do get a little bit mad when I make videos because I hate when there's, like, outside noise. That's just, like, my personal pet peeve. Outside noise, because I always hear all these other commentators with, like, these great mics, and you never ever hear a background noise whatsoever when they do any sort of commentary. And you're like, damn, how did they, you know, make this stuff this quiet? How's there no anything that you can hear? And I'll be like, damn, I want that. And then you're like, shit, I just realized, fuck, I don't have that because there's either people moving around in my house or whatever. Also, what the fuck am I doing right now? I need a gun. I didn't think that, my Remington, I forget what the name of this thing is, the revolver, I didn't think it was actually packed. So, I guess we're going back and we're hitting the box and then we're coming back out here. Alright. But realistically, if you are a YouTuber, have fun with what you do. Have fun is the key word. And obviously, like I said, you know, you can kind of tell, and not just when a video is forced, but just generally when someone gets tired of doing YouTube. And you can see that with people like Chaos X Silencer, Keemstar actually wanted to quit Drama Alert for a while. You can see with T Martin, he doesn't. I could guarantee you, T Martin doesn't care about half the shit that he posts news about. I could guarantee you half these, you know, like most of these people don't care, but they're doing it because, you know, they like the feedback and or they like the money and the perks that come with that job, so to say. Because I know someone who, he has a lot of subscribers. He has like 50,000, and he took a leap of faith because he was a news commentator, and he decided, I'm going to move away from being a news commentator, and I'm going to do a lot of live streams until BO3 comes out, which took a lot of balls, I want to say that, because a news video could get a shit ton of views, like, or it could get like no views, because he has a 50,000 subscriber channel, and either a news video that he would do would get, you know, like 40,000 views in the first day, or it would get like, you know, 800, just depending on what it was. And now all he does is he'll live stream on YouTube for a while, and then he'll post the live stream, and it'll get, you know, like, I don't know, 500, 600 views, which isn't bad, but, you know, for how many subs he has, it's eh. I'm not bashing on the guy, I'm just saying, you know, it's a little bit different. But the fact that he took that leap of faith, and the fact that he decided, I'm not going to do news because I'm not having fun with it. I'm going to do what I want to do, even though my channel is this, you know, many subscribers. That took a lot of balls. It really did. And anyone that has ever changed anything that they've ever done that they had success with will tell you that it was difficult. Because, especially when, you know, I stopped doing the original Road to Shotties series, or, you know, I would do a video and it would do decently, and then I would think to myself, hey, I might do a series. It's like, you know, like, I don't want to do that really because I'm not having fun with it. So, then I won't do it, or I will do it, and I'll, you know, like, force it. I've forced a couple of videos, I will say that. I have forced a couple. Not very many, but I have done a couple. And I would say to myself, shit, I'm not having fun doing this. Why the fuck am I doing it? And then I won't do it. So, it's really one of those things. And it's tough to not go with what's doing well. And, you know, anyone in any facet of life will tell you that you usually should go with what is doing the best. But at the same time, you know, it's YouTube. Would you rather have fun making videos, or would you rather have the worst time ever and, you know, have to, like, drag yourself through a day to make fucking videos about, like, I don't know, Call of Duty or whatever the channel may be? So, yeah. And by the way, I haven't talked about the game much, really. I haven't talked about, you know, what's going on. I mean, like, it's because I'm kind of on autopilot in a way. because I played so much zombies that I just kind of like, I know what I'm doing before I even do it, so to say, because, and you might see me, you know, run up onto the zombies, whatever, and then, you know, kind of let them hit me once or twice, but that's because on buried especially, like, you can kind of walk into them and it'll take them a second to actually swing around at you, so you have that second where it just kind of pauses, and you can walk into them and just, you know, like, they won't hit you, but it'll back everything up, and it'll give you that time to actually, you know, reload your gun or do whatever, and it's usually reloading. Like that, you know, I got hit a couple of times, but whatever. And by the way, that's why I grabbed the Mark II, because, yeah, I actually failed to reload there, but whatever. Because sometimes BO2 is really, really picky about, like, what they consider a reload. BO1's actually a little bit better with that, but not much. And generally speaking, like, I'll be honest here, BO2 has a lot more replayability to me than Black Ops 1, because I don't know why people didn't like Black Ops 1 though, but it has a lot more replayability, but at the same time, BO1 was more fun when it was the main game, and you can tell BO2 has replayability because people are still playing it, and it's 3 years later. That could also be because the other CODs were shit, and they think that BO2 is still fun, you know, because it is. BO2 is still pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie, but I've been, you know, going to some other Call of Duties recently because I've been getting a little bit bored of BO2. And I've been, you know, like, I played a little bit of World of War, you know, I play that every once in a while, you know, if I, like, get really, really bored of BO2, I'll play World of War. I tried COD 4, like, enough said. You know, and I've been playing a little bit of, I think it was MW2. I tried MW3, but, like, my disc is broken. And, you know, like, if you don't play a lot of MW3, you can't just jump back into it. As far as being a sniper and not playing the game when it was originally out, and being, you know, like, if you're not a god at sniping, you can't just jump back into MW3. You have to play it for a couple weeks before your shot is back. So, I don't know. And then, real quick, you know, I'm not sure how long I'm going to play the game. At some point, I'll just probably, like, make a last stand and kill myself. Because it does get very, very hard to talk about something when you don't have questions flying at you. Because it's kind of like a solo podcast, in a way. And it's just a shorter podcast. But generally speaking, you know, you don't have people calling in with questions. You don't have... It's not like a Twitch stream where people can comment in chat or ask you questions or anything like that. You know, so you're kind of just going off whatever pops in your head or a few topics that you come into it with. And talking for an hour is a lot harder than you would think it is. But, what was I going to say? Shit. Oh, yeah, my COD experience. And it's hard to explain. I've been in every community in Call of Duty, but I've never had, you know, I've never been at the peak of, like, you know, where I could be at other than in zombies, because I was, for a while, I was a pub stomper. I actually, the first couple of videos on my channel were, believe it or not, pub stomping videos where I think I won like 75 in one, and then the other one was like, you know, I don't even remember. It was Type 25 nuclear, which isn't unique at all. And this was when I just started, so I thought that they were good. But obviously, like, they're not. If you know anything about pub stomping, that's like really, really bad. You know, just one nuclear, or, you know, just 75 in one with, you know, like, trying my ass off. And I've been in every community. Like, I tried being a pub stomper, and that didn't really work out because I wasn't good enough, or I got too frustrated, or I was only good at BO2. Because I could get gameplays if I wanted to, but it would be like, you know, really unique stuff. I'm good at unique things. Like, I could go out and I could get a nuclear with like a 5.7 or like, I don't know, fucking something stupid, but I can't do it with a really, really try-hard gun. It's just, I don't know why. But I'm good with unique things, but I'm not good with a shit ton of kills, setting up in a trap, getting a 6-man team together, doing all the things that these people do. So I kind of stopped pub stomping, and I went over to zombies, and that was always something I was good at. So I'm like, okay, I'll play zombies. And for a long time, I didn't have a world record or anything. But I finally got, you know, a couple of world records. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm pretty good at this. And, you know, obviously, like, I'm still playing zombies. Because zombies, you know, obviously there's always records to beat. We'll say that. But they're getting harder and harder because the rounds are getting higher and higher. And the game can only go so much further than people are setting these records. We'll say that. Unless you want to be, like, a complete nerd and go to, like, around 15,000 on fucking Chino Numa or some shit. Which, you know, you probably could do, but it would just take forever. So, it's one of those things where zombies is kind of at its, you know, pinnacle. Like, not a lot of records are being broken in Black Ops 1. Like, World of War records, I know, are still being broken, but not a lot of, you know, the regular records that a lot of people know are being broken. Like, I don't think the Ascension world record has been broken in a long time. And that's just because the game can't go much further. And strats can only be so fast before, you know, like, you're technically breaking the game or you're cheating in some way. So, like, let's, you know, really be honest with this one. And then I was into competitive for a long time. Like, you know, I had a couple of competitive teams that I owned. If you're a really, really old sub, you would know what Hale Gaming is. And Hale was basically my attempt at being Optic, so to say, because Hale started out as a competitive team, and I wanted to be like, you know, a Optic slash Farico kind of thing, where like, or XGN, where it was just a huge community. And, you know, like, people would kind of just publicize our name just by it being that name. And, you know, because XGN has, like, 1 million members, but, like, I can guarantee you that, you know, none of them have any clue what XGN was in the beginning. Or, you know, like, any of the big members or whatever. You know, it's just kind of a household name in the Call of Duty community because it's been around for so long and there's so many members. And to join, all you really have to do is, like, sign up. So, I wanted to kind of do that. And I had, like, I think it was 3 PS3 teams or PS4 or whatever it was for Advanced Warfare. And, you know, like, I had all these teams on PlayStation. I was like, you know, they're just kind of there for online tournaments. You know, they could bring in some cash. They could play, like, you know, I don't even know if they do 2Ks or 5Ks on PlayStation for Advanced Warfare, but they can play some tournaments. They can win some money, whatever. Eventually, they'll switch, and, you know, like, if they're good enough, I'll send them to a LAN if they made enough money. And at the time, you know, like, I really had big aspirations for that team because it was going well for, like, you know, a week or so, because we always had, you know, like, all these teams coming to us going like, yo, can you pick us up, or, you know, whatever, can your team scrim us, everything like that. So it was going well, and the teams were winning, you know, like, a couple of free online tournaments, whatever, and I thought things were gonna, you know, really take off at that point. And what ended up happening was this dude named Bubba, I chose him to be the captain of the PlayStation team, and, you know, like, one of them, because I ended up kicking the other two because they did nothing, but this dude named Bubba, he complained, you know, about his teammates all the time, and he would swap out members every, like, you know, couple of days, it seemed like. And this went on for like a month, and he kept kicking people without asking me or telling me, because he'd be like, oh, they didn't mesh, or they played like one UMG match, and the dude didn't do his job, and he complained at the end, whatever, and he couldn't decide on a final roster. Eventually, I said to him, you are way more effort than you're really worth, and you're way more of a headache than you're worth, because, like I said, they were winning free online tournaments, but that, you know, there was no prize either. You know, they weren't winning a prize, they weren't doing anything. And as far as competitive goes, that's going to get you nowhere. It will get you no recognition. I thought they were just doing it, you know, to kind of get some chemistry together, and then they were going to start entering tournaments and start winning some money, but that never happened. And he got really, really mad that I actually kicked him, and I kicked his whole team, too. I didn't just kick him. Like, I said, I'm kind of done with PlayStation. You know, you guys are kind of done. And he got so mad that he trashed the shit out of the team. Like, you know, he started bad-mouthing it and everything like that, and eventually, you know, I kind of ended Hale for a little while because of, you know, the backlash we got, because, like, we kicked him, and, you know, Hale kind of became Vertex, and that was where I actually met some, you know, pretty chill dude, known him for a long time now. His name is Paradise. He's actually in the Gods right now. I think he's a manager, he's a player, or some shit for the Gods. And if you don't know who they are, they're like one of the teams that's blowing up, I want to say, in the sniping community. And they have like 40-something thousand subs, but he's in there now. And he used to run a team called Vertex, and so basically Vertex was, you know, like our little sniping team, whatever. We had a lot of people, and, you know, he kept always saying to us, oh yeah, the editor bailed, the editor bailed, the editor bailed, because we kept asking him, oh yo, when are we going to get the first team Taj out? Because we had all the clips, we had all the everything. And, you know, it just kind of never happened. I eventually got kicked for some reason. I don't even remember, because he said I didn't do anything, because I didn't, I will say that. Every team I've ever been kicked from wasn't because, you know, like, people didn't like me, other than Zombies Hub, but that was because of that one time that Gnarly didn't like me. Anyway, so, you know, every team that I've ever been kicked from is because they said I did nothing, but that's because I never had power to do anything. We'll say that. So, it was the same thing with RK, it was the same thing in Vertex, same thing with Zombies Hub. It was always, you know, they told me to do shit, and then I would do something, and then they'd say, oh yeah, you don't have the power to do that, and I'd be like, the fuck? And then, you know, I would go inactive because, you know, like, I didn't see a point to it, and then they kick me. So, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, Vertex kind of, I got kicked, and then maybe a month later I joined Pure, because they had a recruitment challenge going for the new year, and I joined as a commentator because Pure is, like, one of those teams that they look for uniqueness, and that's really what they're into, is, like, uniqueness, because they actually have, like, Battlefield players, CSGO players, Destiny players, like, all feeders, too, which is weird, but it's really, really cool, and, like, in a team Taj, it looks really sick, you know, when it's not just Call of Duty, and it's other games mixed in, especially if you understand it and you play those games. So, I joined Pure, and I went inactive, and I kind of started doing YouTube again, and the rest is kind of history. But, I don't know, it's really weird, and the reason I mentioned Hale is because, I actually had a dude who was, like, really chill dude, I love the guy to this day, his name is Aaron, and he was the co-leader, or whatever, of Hale, and he actually made a video a couple days ago explaining, you know, like, why he's been gone for so long, because he got hacked on Twitter, or at least he said he got hacked, or whatever, and he went really inactive for a while on Twitter, and, you know, he just kind of stopped doing everything for a little bit, including YouTube, and he just came back because I was on the Hale Gaming channel, because, well, you know, I was going to give it to one of my friends, because it only has, like, 40 subs or whatever, it's like, I don't give a shit, and I was going to give it to him, and, you know, I was on there, and obviously the channel subbed to Aaron, because he was, you know, one of the co-leaders, and I saw that he posted a video. I was like, oh, yo, what's good, fam? Haven't seen you in forever. Yo, DM me on Twitter. Like, we need to catch up, yo. And I DM'd him a little bit, you know, earlier before I got on. And he hasn't replied yet because I know that he's West Coast, so obviously he's like 3 hours behind all of us. So, yeah, well, most of us, I should say. I shouldn't assume everybody's East Coast that watching my videos. Anyway, so I don't know, I think I'm going to do 1 or 2 more rounds, then I'm going to, you know, like, I don't know, maybe end the game or suicide, I don't know. It depends when I get there, really. It's, but yeah, because I'm kind of running out of stuff to talk about, and I don't want to bring up stuff that, you know, would ruin other episodes, potentially, so, you know, it's one of those things where it's, like, self-preservation, because obviously I have to have shit to talk about if I'm going to keep doing these, like, can't spoil everything in one episode, Jesus. I don't know, it's, and the other thing is, like, I have, and we call this, I don't know if it's just my school, but we call it, like, senioritis, where it's, like, you just, as soon as you're a senior, you don't want to do anything, And usually it happens in, like, you know, I don't know, March or April or whatever, where you just don't want to do anything and it's near the end of the year. But like me and everyone I know, we got it like literally as soon as we walked into school on the first day. And like we just haven't wanted to do anything since, and it's so great because being a person that, you know, I've never been very good at school, to all of a sudden, you know, like be doing all right because I have, you know, semi easy classes, and for school to finally be easy for me as far as, you know, like the workload is, you know, it's just such a weight lifted off your shoulders. And what was it? I was talking to some girl that I know in my art class, and someone was arguing with her, like, you know, oh yeah, why do you take AP classes? And she's like, because I want to be successful in life. And, you know, and then I asked her, well, what do you want to do in life? She told me her answer. I was like, okay. She asked me what I wanted to do, and I told her my answer, and she said, okay. I was like, so, you know, like, my point was, you don't need to go to college to actually be successful in life. And that, because anybody that knows me, or if you just watch my previous videos, you know that after high school, I'm actually taking a year off of school to actually, you know, work, get some money, just kind of live life, and, you know, see if YouTube kind of works. Because, yeah, I don't know, like, just there's always that, like, you know, hope in the back of your mind, but I'm not banking on it. But, you know, just kind of work, make some money, then, you know, go to you know, the, you know, near the closest community college. You know, it's like, whatever, I have no shame going to a community college, fuck it. I don't get enough good grades to go to a, you know, good university, and I get that. Like, some people are in denial that, you know, they don't get good enough grades to go to, like, you know, Yale or Harvard or all these other places. I'm sitting here going, like, yeah, I don't get good grades. I'm fine with that. It saves me a shit ton of money going to a community college anyway. Fuck you. So, it's just a general different school of thought, but at least in my opinion, and you can form your own opinion on this one, and I really hope that you do. Do you think that college is worth it, or do you think that people should go right away? Because this especially holds true for me, because my brother actually, he just graduated college in the last, like, month or two, and he actually is looking for jobs in a completely different thing than what he majored in college. And it happens to a lot of people where they'll go most of the way through college, and then they'll realize, shit, that's not what I want to do for the rest of my life. So then they'll be like, well, I can't change it now because I'm most of the way through the degree. And then they'll be kind of stuck with, you know, whatever they chose. And that sucks, because it happens a lot. Like, a lot more than you would think that happens to people. And I think that, you know, people should find what they want to do with their lives before they go to college for something and spend a shit ton of money on a degree that they might not use at any point in time. Because, and that's not just my brother, it's a lot of people, and it's more and more now. More so than ever, because it used to just be, oh yeah, you didn't like your job? Yeah, well, fuck you, you're gonna do it for the rest of your life anyway, who cares? But now it's more, people are trying to find jobs that, you know, fulfill them, so to say, and make them feel better about life. You know, because they say, if you like what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's very, very true. And obviously, people want to do things that they like, so, you know, you might think to yourself, you know, when you're in high school and you're 17 years old and you don't know what the world is, you know, that, oh yeah, I want to do this. And then you'll end up being 19 or 20 and you'll start finding out what the world's really like, or, you know, what goes into it, everything like that. You'll just start finding out things and you'll be like, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. But then you're 3 years into your major in college and you'll sit there and you'll be like, shit, I can't get out of this. I've already gone way too far in to change now. So you're kind of stuck, you know, like doing classes and getting a degree that you don't enjoy. I think what I'm going to do here is, what are we at? We are at round 37. We got 2 downs. We got like 2,100 kills. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray out all the ammo. I'm going to toss this monkey. You know, like once I'm done, obviously with all the ammo. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna die here. All right, that was a good end to the video. Anyway, guys, I really do hope you enjoyed this episode of Road to Shotties. It's good to be back, we'll say that, and I'm sorry, you know, like the videos haven't been what they used to be, but I want to do something my way. And if you guys enjoy me, then you should watch those videos, because I'm not a different person. It's just what's in the background. Like, the gameplay is just different. But anyway, guys, I really do love you. I really appreciate that you watched the whole video. If you did watch the whole thing, I would really like you to comment, we'll say 1295, because resolution 1295. So comment 1295, put that somewhere in your comment, and I'll know that you made it all the way through the video. Anyway, guys, I love you. I will see you in the next video. It has been your boy Russian. Peace.